Hey, what's up, friends? It's Joey here, and today we're coming to you with an epic fail on the bread making. Want to dive into this and why I think I screwed up, but wanted to start this off with kind of why I even started getting into baking bread just recently here. I'm still a beginner in it, and I've been getting pretty excited because I have some people that I follow on social media that seem pretty experienced in the world of bread making, fermented foods, and I've always wanted to make my own loaf of bread and try to do sourdoughs, which is, I think, pretty cool. So I've seen some of these people make a sourdough starter that starts with just flour and water. It's real simple, but basically over a period of maybe about anywhere from like 3 to 10 days, you're creating this yeast culture that's going to once you go to make your bread and make the dough, it's going to, of course, help your dough rise, give it that amazing aroma and that taste and that the beneficial things that come in fermented foods, like fermented bread, like sourdough. So, anyways, I made a starter, and I think it was doing pretty well, but maybe I misjudged it because this was my first loaf to make, and as you can see, it just is a disaster. So I wanted to go into that and maybe talk about why I think it was a disaster. And I'd love you guys to leave your comments below if you've ever baked bread, you've been experienced with sourdough making. Help me out here. I'd love to see in the comments if you can help me out and tell me where I went wrong, and I'll give you my kind of theory. So, like I said, I've been creating a sourdough starter, and I started with unbleached wheat flour, and basically that and just water. That's all you need. And so you mix the two together. You measure. It's typically about a cup of flour and half a cup of water. You stir it together, and you let that sit in like a glass jar for 24 hours. Then you go to feed it. You discard a little bit, and then you feed it with some more flour and water. And you keep doing that I've seen for about a period of 10 days. So I think I got into about maybe the fourth day on mine, and I was just getting too antsy, and I wanted to see if I could start to make some bread with it. So I went ahead and used that in the recipe, and it looked like the dough was just maybe not setting up properly. Uh, I got to be honest, I do eyeball a lot of my measurements, and I don't think, when I looked at a lot of the different videos and people making this sourdough recipe, I think I got the consistency perfect on the bread, on the dough, I should say, and I gave it the right amount of time to rise. You're supposed to be at like a minimum of 3 hours once you first mix your dough, and then another 3 hours. After that first 3 hours, you come back to it, you knead it a little bit more, and then you shape it. You put it in a bowl, let it rise for another 3 hours, and then that's when you get to cooking with it. So I did that, and the bread just never seemed to rise. The dough never seemed to rise that much. And so I'm thinking that's why it came out so thin. This was a lot of dough, and it just, you can hear it. It's got a nice crunch to it because I think I cooked it long enough, maybe a little too long, but it just looks and feels so dense. I haven't cut into it yet, but I know it's going to be pretty dense. So, anyways, that's my video for you guys today, and I'd love to, like I said, have you comment below and tell me where you think I went wrong, possibly. I personally think it was my yeast starter. Maybe it's not active enough, so I need to give it more time. It is bubbling up in the jar, and which I thought was activated, and I think maybe it's just not activated enough. It's not growing enough in volume, and so maybe I need to give it a few more days, keep feeding it. But that's my theory. Love to know. Comment below, and we'll see you guys next time.